Hi friends, welcome to Cyber Pathshala. Today's topic is how to set the path in Java.
In this video we'll be having three sections: content, where the concept will be directly explained on today's topic; train your brain section. In this section I'll be asking either a logical or a technical question, so which will improve our logical thinking. Q&A session, so the previous session questions that were asked in the comment section will get answered here.
Before we move on to how to set path in Java, let us discuss the internals of program. So that is like what happens during the compilation time and what happens during the runtime. So during the compilation time, so first thing is it verifies for any syntactical errors in the program, like if there is anything misspelled. Also, it verifies for the case sensitivity problems, and it also verifies whether the checked exceptions were handled or not. Like I'll give you an example here. Let's say you're handling with a database using a JDBC. So there is definitely a chance for getting an SQL exception. So these kind of exception needs to be pre-handled using a try-catch blocks and all. So we will discuss how the exception handling will be done in our future sessions. So and it also converts the Java code into bytecode. We already discussed on it. So whatever the Java code that we have written, it will be converted into a bytecode. But during the compilation time, it doesn't interact with the operating system. During the compilation time, the .class files will be generated for your Java program. During the runtime, the class loader will load the classes for the execution, and then it will be passed to a bytecode verifier. So, and this bytecode verifier will validate the external byte stream. Like if you have any external code fragments involved in your Java code, so those will be verified by this bytecode verifier. So once the bytecode is verified, the interpreter will read the bytecode and it executes the instructions. So in this diagram, we can see the complete flow of the Java runtime. First, the class file will be loaded by the class loader, in which we'll be having the bytecode, and this bytecode will be passed to the bytecode verifier, and it verifies. And once it is verified, that will be passed to an interpreter. Now this interpreter will execute those instructions on the hardware. So let us see how we can set the path in Java. So I'm assuming that you already have the JDK in handy. So if not, please refer to the previous session on how to install Java for downloading as well as installation. So to make it in sync, I'm installing the Java again today. So let me go to the folder. So here I have my jdk.exe, jdk1874. I'm just double clicking on it. Just click next, and I've selected the development tools. And that error is specific to my machine. You need not to worry about it. Now I'm choosing the destination folder for JRE. So I'm selecting the under program file Java. Just click next. Just close. So now my Java is installed successfully. So let me open a command prompt here and see the current Java version that what I have. Java C hyphen version. So it is saying it is not recognized because I'm under D drive and I didn't set the Java path. So let us see how we can set the Java path. So I installed my Java under C program files Java, and this is my JDK folder. So we also call it a JDK root folder. Just copy this whole path and go to your system, go to your computer and right click on it, go to properties, and go to the advanced system settings, and this is actually Windows 10. It might vary for your Windows 7 or some other machines. So go to advanced system settings, and under environment variables, so I'm going to a system variables, not the user variables. And also I'm creating a new variable called java underscore home, and the value that I'm giving is till the JDK root folder. So this is my JDK root folder. C program file Java JDK 1874. So I'm just clicking OK. So now you can see a new variable called Java home, right? So our Java home is set now till the JDK root folder. So now we need to set the path. So now let's look up for a system variable called path here. So here we have path variable. Just click edit on it. So in Windows 10 we will be having path into a multiple lines, whereas in Windows 7, so everything will be into a single line separated with a semicolons. So just click new here. So now we need to set the path to the existing path variable where we have the both the java.exe as well as javac.exe. So let us see where we have both the files. So let us go to the Java install folder, C program files, Java JDK. So this is our Java home. So under that, if you go to the bin folder, here we will be having both the java.exe as well as javac.exe. So now we need to add this path to the existing path. So let me copy this here. So let us go back here. So here we need to, this is an existing path. Now we need to add the new one. So just click new. So our Java home is already defined till the JDK root folder. I'm just using that same here. Percentile Java home percentile slash bin. So that's where we have both the java.exe and javac.exe, so that our system can recognize both these commands. So just click OK. So click OK again and then click OK. So now let us open the D drive and somewhere and open a command prompt here and see whether your Java C and Java commands are getting recognized or not. Java C hyphen version. So your command got recognized, Java hyphen version. So now you have both the commands getting recognized in the whole system. Now we are able to successfully set the path in the system. In Windows 7, create an environmental variable called java underscore home and set the value till the JDK root folder. So and then click OK. And for existing path variable, so go to the end of the value in the path variable, just put a semicolon and add percentage java home percentage slash bin at the end of the line, and then just click OK, apply. You should be able to successfully set the path. So let us write two sample programs here. So the first one is class name with a different Java file name. So we already discussed in our earlier sessions. So we need not to have the same name for both the class and Java file. And the next one is multiple classes in the same Java file. So let us start with the first program, class name with a different Java file name. Here I'm opening a new notepad to write my first program. So window R, notepad, class name, hello world, and opening brace for the class and closing brace for the class. So inside that I'm writing my main method, public static void main. So inside the braces I'm writing string args braces. I'm opening my main method and I'm closing my main method. Inside that I'm writing system dot out dot println hello world. So let me save this file. So I'm going to save this under D drive Cyber Pathshala Java programs folder, and I'm saving this with the hello Pathshala, and I'm giving my extension .java and save as type all files. So let me save it here. If you see this, my class name is hello world, but if you go inside that folder, here I can see the Java file name as hello pathshala.java, right? So let us try to compile this. So I'm opening a command prompt here. So now I am under D drive cyber pathshala Java programs where I have my hello pathshala.java. So in our previous session we mentioned that so for compilation we need to use the Java file name. So here I am typing Java C space hello pathshala.java. So just click enter here. So your program got compiled successfully. So let us go back and see what else we can see there. So if you see here, my .java file is hello pathshala.java, but after compilation, it generated me a hello world.class because so inside that hello world.java file, I have the class name as hello world. If I have some xyz, so there will be an xyz.class file will be generated, right? So now the compilation is successful. Now I need to run this program. For running, I need to use Java space the class name. So what is the class name here? So here the class name is hello world, but not hello pathshala. Hello pathshala is the Java file name and hello world is the class name. So now I need to give the class name Java hello world and need not to give the extension. Just give the class name Java space hello world. Just press enter and it printed the hello world statement. Now we are able to successfully write our first program. So let us start the second program, which is writing multiple classes into the same Java file. So I'm opening my notepad here. So notepad class ABC. This is my first class. So inside that I'm writing a main method public static void main. So inside the braces I'm writing string args, opening the main method and closing the main method. So inside that I'm writing system dot out dot println. So I'm just printing here hi I am class ABC. I'm printing the just the class name. I'm putting the semicolon here. So I'm writing one more class. So at the end of the first class XYZ, I'm opening the class and I'm closing the class. So inside that I'm again writing one more method public static void main, opening the brace and closing the brace string args. So inside that I'm writing system dot out dot print ln. I'm just writing the same thing here also. I am class XYZ. So I'm going to save this file inside D drive Java programs, parts of Java programs. I'm saving it with multiple classes dot Java. I'm saving all files. So this is my Java file name multiple classes dot Java inside the Java programs folder. I'm just going to save it. Just click save. It got saved. So now let us try to compile this. So I'm opening a command prompt here again. So let me try to compile it. For compilation, we'll be giving the Java file name Java C multiple classes dot Java. So my Java program got compiled successfully. So let us go back and see the folder. So in this folder now I can see two new classes abc.class and xyz.class. So inside my multiple classes.java I defined two classes, right, abc and xyz. So for both the classes it generated two classes. So let's say you have a Java file which is having 10 classes defined in it. So it is going to generate 10 dot class files. So let us run these classes. So I'm going to my command prompt again. For execution I need to use Java command Java space and the class name. So here the class name is ABC, Java space ABC. So when I run the Java space ABC, it is going to print only hi, I am class ABC, but it is not going to run the XYZ class. So to run the XYZ class, again we need to use the Java space XYZ and then press enter. So in this case, it is just going to print hi, I am class XYZ. So this is how you can write multiple classes into the same Java file. Next is train your brain session. Previous session train your brain question is, I have given you a bun, how can we make it into 8 pieces with only 3 cuts? So the answer is here. So the first cut is horizontal and second and third are vertical, so that you get totally 8 pieces.
Ramya and Maulika answered it correctly. Kudos to you. Today's session train your brain question is, you are given a weighing scale which has 4 kg and 2 kg stone on the left side and 8 kg stone on the right side, and you have additional 1 kg in your hand. How will you balance the scale? I am repeating the question again. You are given a weighing scale which has 4 kg and 2 kg stones on the left side and 8 kg stone on the right side. You have an additional 1 kg in your hand. How will you balance the scale? If you have any questions in today's session, please write down them in the comment section. I will pick the top 5 questions which will be useful for everyone, and those gets answered in the next session. If you directly come to this video, here we have the complete playlist. Please go through it. If you haven't liked this video yet, please click on the like button. If you feel this video is helpful, please share it with your friends and family members. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe. Please click on the bell icon to receive all the notifications. Thank you.